What's happening, guys? My name is Anthony, and in today's video I'm going to be helping you guys learn how to master the newly updated Australian circuit. So if you're new to my track guides and you don't know how they work, I basically take you around the circuit slowly, giving you guys all the details on how you need to be quick around each corner, and then I'll show you a hot lap in real time so that you can see how I tackle and how you should tackle the newly updated Melbourne circuit. So without further ado, let's learn how to master the 2022 Melbourne circuit. And I'd like to thank everybody who's on the screen right now for being channel members. If you do want to support the content past just liking and subscribing, make sure to click the join button underneath the video to learn more. Okay guys, so sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird. I am feeling sick at the moment, but getting into the final corner now. This final corner, unlike most that you'll see on the calendar, doesn't actually matter how you prepare the final corner, so just take it how you will, because what really matters is getting on the power as soon as you possibly can on this corner so that you can carry all the speed down to turn one. So usually what I do is you take a little bit of a wider line, open up DRS, get your foot on the throttle as soon as you can, and then turn one at Australia hasn't changed compared to last year, and it is still one of the most awkward corners for me on the calendar. But going into this one, at least with the default setup, you want to brake just after the 100 meter board. And for those who are wondering what default setup I'm talking about, I used preset 4 when I first got this game. Preset 3 is probably what you'll see be choose by default, but preset 4 was what I was most comfortable with. But with the setup that I'm using, which my spreadsheet is in the works, I brake just before this sort of little grey patch right here on the left hand side, brake in a complete straight line, and then you want to turn in roughly just in between the 50 meter board and this white line that we've just passed on the floor there, down into 5th gear. Now how you take this corner can be very important. You do want to sort of cut this curbing, but again, with the way that the physics works in this game, can just shoot you off. So in the race, if you're not confident with your lines, I would say just get as close to the curbing as you can. But for qualifying, definitely try and ride over that curb because it will gain you the most time. Be as wide as you possibly can. The track limit for that corner is the yellow line, not the white line. So I just want to let you guys know that. And then you open up DRS. And then we have our first actual like heavy braking zone coming up here. You're going to be in 8th gear. With the setup that I'm currently using, I brake just before the black box. You probably want to brake at the 100 meter board if you're using preset 4, as you need to brake slightly earlier with the lack of downforce. Down into 4th gear. Then you want to touch that yellow line if you can. Be as smooth as you can with the throttle here. Now this corner is a little bit different to how it was last year, not in how it is, but how it's taken. I found that you want to actually hold the throttle at around about, I think it's 30 or so % throughout this corner, whereas in last year's game you would lift off and then try and get on the throttle as soon as you can. With this corner in this year's game, you can actually hold on to the throttle a little bit and then get your foot on the throttle, and that seems to gain you a lot of time, as you'll see from the lap that I actually did for this video. Then coming up to the end of the first sector now. Same braking zone as it was in F1 2021. However, I take it in 7th gear this time. As soon as we get to this curbing that sort of dips in a little bit, I brake down into 6th gear, and this is a much faster corner than it was in 2021. So you want to carry that speed through, and then boom. This corner is very easy to go wide at, so be careful going in. You want to sort of turn the car in a little bit later than you would think, just so that you can get your foot on the throttle as quickly as you can without going out wide. And then this section obviously completely changed. It's fully flat now. There's no braking zone here. The next braking zone is what used to be turn 11. Don't know what corner number it is now, but you're going to be in 8th gear as you get to the 50. Boom. 7th gear, one last downshift into 6th gear, and then you want to just sort of touch that curb with your left tires there. You want to get on your, you basically want to be flat out by this point in qualifying. In the race, you could probably be a little bit more reserved, but in qualifying, you pretty much want to be flat out by this point in 6th gear. Go over this curbing here, and then shift up to 7th gear. You're going to go wide here. Just try and control the car if it gets a little bit loose. And then you want to bomb it down to this next corner here. This is the last change to the Australian circuit before we get to the end of the lap here. So for this one, instead of braking at 100 meters like you would in the previous game, you actually want to brake just about at 60 meters, roughly 55 meters the latest. Brake, you're going to be in 8th gear, down into 4th gear. Then you want to hit this apex, boom. And then I found that you gain quite a lot of time by getting on the throttle and going out wide and then just bringing the car back onto the tarmac. That seems to be where I gain the most amount of time. In my lap, the last sector I actually lost about 2 tenths, and I lost quite a bit of time there, but that's just what I found. For this corner, 6th gear, just after the 50 meter board, lift off the throttle, turn the car in, get your foot back onto the throttle as smoothly as you can, be as wide as you possibly can. So right here, again, the yellow line is the track limit, not the white line. So make sure to remember that. And for this final corner, you sort of want to bring the car back over to the right, and then just as you get to around, I would say 70 meters, that's when you want to brake in a complete straight line. If you brake in a straight line, that'll give you the best turn in for this corner, especially in this year's game. So brake in a straight line, and then you'll be able to turn in third gear, boom, hit the curb there, short shift up to fourth or fifth, depending on what you're comfortable with. Get your foot on the throttle as soon as you can. Be as close to that curbing on the right hand side as you can, and then just slingshot down the straight. And that is a lap of Australia. So for now, what we'll do is I'll show you guys the full lap in real time so that you can see how to tackle this circuit properly.
Our fastest lap is a 1 minute 16.8.
So that's it for this track guide at Australia. I hope that you guys learned something from the slow lap. Make sure to come to the comment section after you've done some practice and let me know how much time you were able to gain thanks to this track guide. The setup spreadsheet, it is coming. It will be available soon enough. I have started working on it, so just be patient with it. It will be available soon. Please stop asking me in the comment section. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, smash the like button. There should be videos on the screen right about now. Make sure to click any one of them. There'll probably be track guides of other tracks that you guys can learn, so make sure to click those, and I'll see you guys in my next video.